I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it. I just did the swatch party a couple hours ago, and from them swatches, I'm not feeling it. But I did say, I hope that when I do looks with it, my feelings will change. I have not regretted a Natasha Denona palette purchase yet. Well, one was not the Star palette. I liked one side, but not the other, and so I ended up switching it around, and then I don't know if I gave it away or whatever, but that was the only one that I did not keep that I recall. So this is what Roxa looks like, and I don't care what people say, this is not a purple palette. What I did was, though, that I didn't do before the live swatches, I went on the Sephora site. Y'all know I'll be having notes, and because it's not on the Natasha Denona website yet, except for early release, which is when I ordered this one. So I went on the Sephora website, and looked at what the finishes were and what the colors were described as. And even though the finishes are up here in this little square, because the box is so reflective, I can't see what it says. But I'm glad I did go to the Sephora site because it gave me the descriptions. And it is a lot of lilacs, pinks, purples. But when I swatched them, why is my pinky like that? But when I swatched them, it didn't look like that. It didn't look like that. And I'm also confused about something. I'm confused about... Let me put on my Tillamook. We are going to get to the looks. This is going to be a long video. We're putting all of these shades on the lid from lash line to brow bone and on our lower lash line. And I know somebody's going to say, just put 1 or 2 shades on the lid. Y'all know I do more than that. And I do really want to see what these shades are going to look like. And even if it's just a little piece right here, we'll still see what it look like. And if my feelings do change, or if I think I didn't do the palette justice, then I will circle back to it and just do a less, I guess, complicated look. And not that it's complicated being graphic, but complicated where I'm using 7 shades on each eye type of thing. So what confuses me is in her previous palette, I don't know if it was golden or I Need a Warm, there was a slip cream shade and it was SC. There's no, the letters on this one are different. I'm just like, what the hell? There's a SK, which is a crystal sparkling shade. SW is sparkling wet effect. And that's in Xenon. I think it was only one wet effect in Xenon, and it is beautiful. M is metallic. Now here's the one that confuses me. There's a SKM, and that says silky matte. But where's the slip cream matte from the previous palette? So this one has quite a few SKMs and silky mattes, but where's the K? SKM, that's just silky matte. Where's the K come from? So I'm a little confused. SF is sparkling foil, and I will, as I use the shadow, I'll tell you what the finish is and what it's described as, because it does look like a lot of purple-ish color family, but when I swatched them, it ain't look like that. So just really quick, we have a warm pink with blue and purple specks, wet effect lilac pink, vintage rose, matte deep purple, matte lilac, matte light lilac, light medium warm lilac, matte medium lilac. It ain't look like all them purples in that palette to me. When I swatched them, it was like 4 that looked like they were purple. Anyway, sparkling foil dual chrome, pink with bronze champagne shift, foiled pink. That foiled shade, sparkling foil graphic design with the violet and silver. That's the one dead center. There's a medium violet, a matte medium purple, a medium dark muted fuchsia, a medium dusty coral rose, and a medium dark purple. But when I swatched this, the only ones that look purple was this one, this one, this one, and this one, kinda. That was it. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. But so according to Natasha's descriptions, this is a purple palette, but it don't look like it. It don't look like it. We're going to do 1 look each eye, and hopefully I won't forget to prime the other eye. So this will be look number 1 over here. I did sit and I wrote it out because I'm hoping my feelings change. We have on Fenty brows, and y'all, they got away from me, but I think they look kind of decent today, meaning that they're almost the same. And when I look at everybody else, one brow is here and one starts over here. So it's not unusual. And I think we get so used to seeing it that when we try as hard as I do to get my brows even, it makes it, I'm more aware that they're not even. And why should they be? My face is not symmetrical, so why should my brows be? So anyway, but as far as the shape, that line, and then this point right here, pat foundation, pat primer, Estee Lauder concealer under my eyes, and we're going to finish the face later. Some of these shades, y'all, had fallen on my shirt, on my desk. I'm just like, okay. But I've been in the habit of lately just having my face like this and finishing it later, which does help if there is fallout, but most palettes don't have a lot. Mario had some, but it wasn't a ton. So we're using the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I do miss my Fenty, but I'm really trying to give this one a chance. I used to like it back in the day, and I do still like it. I'm just so used to the Fenty being tacky on me, and what I don't like is getting the product out of here. And so what I do is when the wand is inside, I kind of squeeze it. I squeeze the package. That ain't sound right, did it? So when it's in here, I just kind of go like this and just kind of wiggle it to get the product onto the wand, because it is tight. That ain't sound right either. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm in the mood. If you're new here, my name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, you already installed some tidbits. Just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self, even if you stammer and stutter like I just did. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. You will hear, you have to do this, you have to use this brand, you have to use this technique. No, you don't. If you're watching me, you are good and grown. Somebody did tell me their 10-year-old was watching me, and I'm like, I cursed her. I don't know if you aren't watching me. And they're like, oh, her mom curses worse than you. So, you know, it's okay. I'm just like, oh, okay. What was I saying? Oh, you good and grown if you're here. The bottom line here at the Crazy Troll Nation is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. Two things I need to let you know. One, you just found out I do curse. The second thing is there's an organism that lives like right in here in my throat somewhere that likes to randomly hiccup, gurgle, and belch in videos, and I do always say, excuse me. So, thank you for being here. Let's get into this palette. So we're going to take Dixie, this first shade here, and it is described as a SK formula. Crystal Sparkling Warm Pink with blue and purple specks. That's going to go on the first part of the lid. We're doing the lids in quarters. Y'all, we getting these shades on. And even if it's a little bit like that, you'll still see a little something. And I do see, this is why I miss the Fenty, because it grips. And like how I can sweep this over, I can't do that with the Fenty because the brush just gets stuck and the shadow really sticks. So I do kind of miss, I do miss the Fenty, but I want to really just give this a fair shot. I do have one of these, the Urban Decay Primer Potions in my kit, and when they were in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, I bought 2 more, and that's when I decided to open one for myself. Just to familiarize myself with it again, because I haven't used it probably in like 20 years. But, so I was glad that it was in the sale, because I didn't want to put Fenty on people because it is so tacky for me that I didn't want it to hinder me trying to put on shadows or blend out shadows. Because for me, I'm used to it, you know what I mean? But for other people, and plus when I do faces, I want to be quick. We're going to turn this over and we're going to take Flutter. Flutter is this one right here. And this is a SW Sparkling Wet Effect Lilac Pink. And the reason I'm doing it this way, putting some of these shades that look almost the same next to each other, because I want to see if they're going to blend into the same shade. This one is definitely different. I do see more pink down here. I do like the shimmer in both of these shades. This sounds like it's going good right now, right? Let's wait and see, because the more I did them swatches, I was like, this ain't it. So we're going to put that down. We're going to pick up, these are V27s. Please let it be. Yeah, from Esom. I have like 8 of them. And now we're going to take Regal, this shade over here. And this is described as, it's the M formula, Metallic Vintage Rose. So we're going to put this on the third part of the lid. And I don't know what to say, because I don't see it. I see shimmer and that's it. We're going to put that brush down. We're going to take a clean one and we're going to take Eclipse, this right here. Because I'm like, when I was looking at these colors, I said, we need something. And then I thought, this might be like too dark, or I should have took one of the reddish tones over here, or rosy tones, whatever they're calling it. But I said, you know what, fuck it. Let's just put a brown over here. It just... Y'all, I know y'all, and I'm going lightly because this is a dark shade. This is a dark shade. And so I don't want it to not look right. Like, when do I care? Because usually I just do what I want to do anyway. I'm trying to get this line straight right here. Which, okay. And now we're going to come up here. And we're going to lay the brush flat and feather inward. So that's what we're going to do with this. We are using two different, that's pretty. Now what would be nice, I think, and it may be something I do in the future. I know when I talked about this palette before, I said I was going to watch Natasha's videos again and use the color combinations that she used. This looks eggplant to me in person, like a deep eggplant, and it's described as matte deep purple. But on my skin it looks purple. In the pan to me, maybe because I'm comparing it to this one. This one looks purple, and it makes this one not look purple. To me, this looks almost brown. But in person, like when I look at it where you are, it looks brown. When I look here, it looks like a dark eggplant. But they're saying it's the dark purple. So, okay, we're going to say what they said. I said I was going to write down the color combination she used and recreate those looks, but I haven't done it. And at this point, I don't think I will because her videos are less than 90 seconds. So I would have to be doing a lot of pausing to go back and do that. So what I think would be nice is one of these three shades. Well, you know what? Put this all over and top the center with one of these shades. Or just top the first half with one of these shades and just leave the outside dark. Because I know I like the dark. So this right here I like. But in here... Now we're going to take Phoebe. This is... Grace that sent me these. I have two of these. And we're going to use the one for the other eye. This one is E49. It's from Sigma. And we're going to take... Phoebe. I said that already, didn't I? Where is that hoe hiding at? This is Phoebe. The one of the ones I said I thought, excuse me, look like Ashtown. This one and this one. But we're going to take Phoebe, and Phoebe is described as a SKM Silky Matte. Where does the K come from? Unless it's for silky. I take out the IL and the Y, it'll give you SK. Why be complicated, girl? So Silky Matte Light Lilac. I don't see no lilac in here at all. And when I swatched it, it just looked like a tan dust ball. So we're going to put that there. For my complexion, it does just blend right in. I do think I see something, but it's just like a lighter tan than my complexion of ash. Because looking over here at my skin and then looking at this, that look... But do I dare say I see a hint of lilac? When I look here, I do. When I look down here, I don't see anything at all. Okay. This eye started to over here. Inner rims and lower lash line for both eyes. We have matte color excess gel pencil eyeliner and graphic content. Because this is the closest to a purple that I have. And I was wanting to do a lighter purple. But I said, you know what, let me just use what I got. So, but you gotta use what you got anyway. I wasn't gonna go out and buy something. Now I'm gonna take Sweet Pea, which is this shade here. This is the ESOM 45 Max, E45 Max. We're gonna take Sweet Pea. I like this one better because it's thinner than this one. And I think I might want to order some of these. But I need to catch a sale. I think they sent me a code. Oh, that makes me look ashy. Look at that. This reminds me of Cotton Candy in Circle Local palette. But I learned how to work with it where it doesn't look ashy. It depends on where I put it and just doing a really thin line and not doing like my complete brow bone area. So I have learned to work with it. And I forget who it was that commented, like, you know, we learn to work with dusty shades, but for the price point, why should we have to learn to work with it? Just don't be dusty. But then... you know, can't help what our complexion and undertone is and how shadows show up. So this is the brush that had Eclipse on it. I'm not adding more. I'm just patting up here over top of the edge of that transition shade to bring that brown. Even it's not even brown. Deep matte purple just up a little bit higher. Yo, And we didn't add any more shadow to this brush. We're just feathering. I did pull out a purple eyeliner for upper lash line from Inglot, and this is number 75. I'll show it to you again later. And I think I'm going to put Contemplative State MAC Paint Pot in the beginning part of my brows, I think. Not sure yet. So lower lash line, I only pulled out one brush for this. We're going to take Velour, this shade here, and this is an SKM. That K is messing me up, y'all. Why be complicated? Just put SM for Silky Matte. Anyway, this is described as Silky Matte Medium Lilac. So this was the other purple I saw. 1, 2, 3, 4. But everything is like lilac, pink, rose, coral. And I don't see it. That's pretty. It's pretty under my eye, and this did not look dusty on my face. This one and this one looked dusty on my face. I was not happy. I was so unhappy. I was like, don't get it. But I did keep saying that I hoped once I did looks, I'm sweating, so that's why I'm doing this, that once I did looks, my mind would change, my feelings would change. And I don't have any other MIDI palettes that I don't, that has shades in it that I'm not quite happy with, but I can swap it out, because I've done that with other palettes. In my Xenon, I have some Retro Glam shades, and also in my Glam palette, I have some Retro Glam shades. And so that took care of all the shades I liked from Retro Glam. But for this one, I don't have another MIDI that I'm not satisfied with, unless, and for, I think, Golden, I put some of the Star Mini, I put actually 4 of the Star Mini shadows in there. They don't fit, excuse me, they're smaller, but you know, they fit in here as just extra room, which I don't care about. So that's if you like, let me just, okay, we're gonna prime your eye. If you if you like ethereal looks, let me put these brushes somewhere. If you like ethereal looks, this will be a look for you. The only thing that's kind of throwing me off is that first shade is like that dual chrome. So I do see the blue, even though it doesn't say blue. It says warm pink with blue and purple specks. Yeah, so blue. Whereas all of these just kind of blend in into one pink shimmer, and then these up here are just dusty. So from here to here, it looks like one shade, and just dust up here. And I know, don't put them all on the lid. I wanted to see if they were going to look alike. That's why I put them next to each other, and to see if they would show up. But those, they're just shine. Like, it's not even a color. But if you like ethereal looks, you will really like these. I can say that for a fact. I prefer dark smoke grunge. So Troll, why did you get it? That's a long story. It ain't a long story, but I mentioned before why I purchased it. But anyway, and I was really excited about it till I saw Morgan swatch videos, and then I was like, oh. Like, for real, I was just like, what the hell did I do? But we're here now, and I can say I feel a little better about it because it is brown. Matte purple. To me, it looks brown. I'm gonna call it eggplant. So because of Eclipse, I do think I could do a really nice halo spotlight cat eye type look with this. Excuse me, but this does a lot, because and I kind of want to take it further in, but I'm gonna just, yeah. So let me move all of my brushes in front of me, the clean ones, and I have them laid down in the order that they're going to be used, because if y'all been here, y'all know I easily confuse my damn stuff. So we're going to flip the paper over, and oh, I was gonna say, where's the palette, y'all? So here we are again. Let me make sure this is patted out in my crease area, because all this puff I have up here. So we're going to take Stargirl. Stargirl is this shade right here, and this is described as SF Formula Sparkling Foil Dual Chrome Pink with Bronze Shimmer Shifts. Oh, yo, that just, okay. It fell out. Pink with bronze shift. I see the pink. I see the pink. This one, it's not flaky. This one was flaky. We're going to deal with that later. But this one is not flaky, but a little piece of chunk fell out of the palette. Down here I see pink, where you are I see lilac. And it doesn't even say that. Bronze, excuse me, pink with bronze champagne shift. I don't see any bronze. Down here I see pink. Looking up here I see purple. This is me looking at myself. This is me looking at you. Hey. And this is me looking at the time. We're at 20 minutes right now. Feels like something is in my eye. Oh no. We're going to turn the brush over and go into Brink. The flaky one I was just talking about. This is SF also. Sparkling Foil Pink, it says. This one is flaky, so I'm going to turn it sideways. And we're going to put that next to here. So it looks like the first one we put, but it's just darker. A little bit deeper. A little bit. So the first one, even though that's sparkling foiled as well, it's a barely there lilac, even though it's not described as that. And this one is sparkling foiled pink. And it, you know what, this shadow is getting in my eye. But this is a pink. I don't know what to say. We're gonna put that brush down. We're gonna go to Bolt, which is this center shade, and this is SF also. Sparkling foiled graphic designed violet and silver. I do remember this one was pretty. I do remember that. Damn, I don't see it though. When I swatched it, it showed up. I did use a sponge tip applicator. I don't use my fingers for makeup. If I feel something would benefit from that type of application, that's when I would do a sponge tip. Let's just see real quick. So this is sponge tip that I use. It did make it darker. So you do get more. I just don't like, excuse me, I just don't like putting my hands and stuff. So that middle shade, Brink. So let's do that. And I'm not always going to want to do this. This is flaky. When I tap off, like a whole chunk came out. We're going to put some more of that there. So yeah, it does intensify. So if you don't want to use your fingers for makeup, and I know I've said it in other videos, get you some sponge tips. I like these ones because they're long. Some of them are only half as long, so you're kind of just, you know, all up in here. But I like this one because it gives you space to do stuff. I'm not going to bother putting on that first one. Do I want to do that? What was that first one? Star Girl. So let's do that too, since we did the other three. This is flaky. So yeah, as you see, okay. All right, I'm losing that middle shade and I don't care. So this is all just blending into one shade, which is fine. You can see it. I do believe if I did sponge tips with here, it would show up more too. And or if I used my my Fenty primer. So it's still not that different than here. Like, yes, they're a little bit deeper, but overall, like, this looks like it's nothing on my lid. This is so thin and so sheer. I could almost swear I see my skin through that shadow. But over here, you can tell this color all the way across. All right, let's keep going. So where are we? What did we, that was Bolt. We're going to take Concord, which is this shade right here. And this is described as SKM Silky Matte, excuse me for smacking, Silky Matte Medium Purple. So I am feeling better about this than when I did the video, the swatches, but I'm still not like, ooh. I just feel like, okay, I can work with it and do something and get looks that I like. And maybe just have to layer like these shades over here. And so this for me is the lesson that I wanted to learn, is how do they look next to each other? Are they going to show up? Are they going to make me look dusty? And even though I'm using 7, 8 shades on each side, 7 on one, 8 on the other, is it going to be still a look that I like? And even if not, which this is just too light for me. I like from here over. This one I like that you can see color. Down here is very colorful. Down here I see light lilac, pink, a deeper purple, and then I see this burgundy-ish purple, which is not what it's described as, but that's what I see. And so looking at it, even with this brown, I can see where, okay, lay that down, put one of these on top of it, or, you know, something. So I said in the swatch video I had buyer's remorse. I don't have buyer's remorse anymore, but I'm still just like, I'm gonna have to work. I am sweating. And so now I feel challenged. Like, what else can I do? And there is shadow. Oh my God. Oh shit, that hurts. What else can I do and do that I can be like, wow, this look is bomb? Because I don't think either one of these looks are bomb. I think they're cute, but I don't think they're bomb. We're going to take Orchid, which is this one here. This is described as a SKM Silky Matte Medium Purple. Why is she trying to be complicated? This is the first half of the transition. I'm going lightly because it does look like it can go dark. And since we're putting this up here, I don't want it to be too dark around my brow bone, but I want some dimension from these light lid shades. And at first I was going to put these two next to each other on the lid just to see how close they look, because these three look like they can blend into one shade. But because I wanted to use everything, I'm like, okay, don't do that in this video. Now, that was the E49. Now we're going to take the E45 Max, and we're going to go into Charisse, which is the one right above it. And that is a SKM. That annoys me. Silky Matte Medium Dark Muted Fuchsia. Whatever, girl. And we're going to tap it first. It does show up, and it does look like the one here. This is a little bit deeper, but they do kind of blend into the same shade. But we do know, for me, that is a deep enough shade where I can do something with it. This is the brush that had Orchid on it. So you see they do kind of blend into the same shade. Being nuanced, and if you have an eye for detail, I can see a difference. But if I didn't know they were two different shades, I would think it was the same shade. This is a brush that had this shade over here on it. This does remind me of a soft lila look. And because we put 3 sparkling shades on the lid, it almost reminds me of Livid, the dual chrome from Lila. And Lila did have, and we did swatches, none of them were dupes. These shades that you might think are similar to ones in Lila, Lila was a lot more bold, had a lot more depth, they were a lot darker. But if I didn't know these were 2 different shades, I would think it was just one shade. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take Heather. This is Heather. Heather is described as SKM. That annoys me. And I don't know why I keep saying it, just so I can say it annoys me after I say it. Heather is described as Silky Matte Medium Dusty Coral. So we're going to take a Fenty 220, and we're tapping straight in because we're going to put this on the inner portion of the lower lash line. And we have one more shade to use, and we can say we use this whole palette. I'm going to circle back to this. I'm also going to circle back to, I like the looks I did with the Mario palette, y'all, and it surprised me. I didn't intend to buy it, and I did. And y'all, those formulas, oh my God. Those formulas are really nice. Very smooth, very silky. One of the 2 high shine shades I could have did without because they look very close in tone and in color. But other than that though, I'm like, and you know what does it for me? That brown, that blue, that black, and that gray. That's what does it for me. I was like, oh. And the same as that palette, I used 6 shades on one eye that they had grouped on a Sephora site as a twilight look, and the other eye I did the other 6, column 2 and 3, and that one was midnight moon, and I did that on this. Oh my gosh, I love that look. Now I'm gonna take Jacaranda. When I swatched this, it felt really dry. This is SKM, that annoys me. Silky Matte Medium Dark Brown. So we're going to put this on the other half of the lower lash line. And this was dark, but it was dry. And I need to put this on the lid, or at least the outer corner, to see if it's patchy. But we're gonna do that another day. So you can tell those are two different colors, and that's pretty under there. It's hard to mess up putting any type of color on your lower lash line, if it's patchy, if it's dry, because it's such a small space and it's a taper brush, so it goes right where you want it, and that's that. So y'all, that's all 15 shades. Doesn't look like it, do it. That's a skill. When you can take 7 shades and it look like 2. That says something's wrong with the palette. This side down here, I can distinctly see this shade, this one, and that one. But just looking at it across the lid, it's like, is that a multi-chrome? And I love it when shadows do that, when it looks like it might be a dual chrome or multi-chrome and it's not. Because you see more than, you know, the 2 or 3 shifts. If it's a multi-chrome, it might be 3 shifts. Dual chrome, you see 2, but something like this is 4 shades, and it's looking like, you see, even looking where you are, I can see each distinct color, but who's going to think I have 4 colors on my lid? That's crazy. Who does that? I do. Hey, how you doing? But I like that effect, and I'd rather do this than use a multi-chrome or dual chrome, because I like to play in makeup, and just putting on one multi-chrome and that's it, I'm like, I'm not fulfilled with that. I like to do stuff. And so we're gonna, well, should we? Where are we at? We're at 31 minutes. Y'all, I am sweating. It was like 70 something degrees today. I don't know if I want to put contemplative state in my lid. We are going to, because we didn't finish the face. Do I even want to finish the face? I don't think I want to finish the face, because I'm kind of feeling some kind of way, like I just want this to be over. So, but I think my face is okay. I mean, I don't think it's really uneven, and I do have on primer and foundation. Yeah, we're not going to finish the face. This is number 75 from Inglot. We're going to put this on our upper lash line. We're just going to keep it rolling. And so when this video is done, y'all, it'll be, oh, my tear is tearing upward because I see a crease right here, which is what happens because it tears upward and then it creases in the crease. And sometimes I can pat it in, and sometimes it'll, when the brush, excuse me, will just lift the shadow off. But because this is such a shiny shade, you might not even notice that it's a crease in there, but I can see it, and it looks hideous. That's that first shade. Now it's just moving it. Let me leave it alone before y'all be like, oh yeah, now I see it. But I definitely see a crease in there. So I'm gonna put purple on our upper lash line. Should I be monochromatic and do a purple lip? I'm asking y'all like this is a live and y'all can answer me right away. I am so far from my lash line, it's ridiculous. Oh goodness. Let me know what you think of these looks. Let me know, are you more of an ethereal type, or are you more like just give me some subtle color? So I have a look for both of y'all, whichever one y'all are. One of these looks is for you, and then we'll come back and do some different stuff later on. But I do, as I said, I do feel better about it, because when I did them swatches, I was just like, I had buyer's remorse. I really did. And we did work with the dusty shades, yeah. We do see that those red tones blend in together. The one underneath, you can't tell. But if you look at this down here, it does look like it would still blend into one of those. And so that's one of my pet peeves of when there's duplicates within a palette. But I know that Natasha does that. And so if there's any blame, it's me for buying it. So I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not a red anyway type person for shadow. And so that seems to just kind of get me more than other stuff, because like with Xenon, that was grayscale. I love that palette. But I did put some retro glam shades in there though. I think 2 or 3 of them. But so it depends though on like what color it is. And I love the Yucca palette. I only switched out one shade for that one because one shade did not show up on me at all. But other than that, that wing is nice. This one is invisible. My eyes are starting to burn, and I think it's from having shadow in my eye. So that is not a good thing. Yeah, yo, my eyes are starting to burn. The only time I had problems with Lancome Soul's Boost Mascara Base, Lancome Mascara Lashy Doll, the only time I had problems with her formula, there were 2 shades in the Sunset palette. I think it was the 2 darkest shades. And I think it might have been the level of carmine in those shadows. But for the other than that, I don't have problems with her shadows. I didn't get the Love palette because that was a lot of reds, which means more carmine. Well, I think it would mean more carmine. And I didn't get the Love palette because also I don't like a bunch of reds, period. And so I didn't get that one. But as far as all the ones I do have, I haven't had an issue except with Sunset. Even with what was that palette? Zendo. There were some reds in there. They didn't irritate me. Irritate my eyes or my lids. And so we live and we learn. Yeah, both of my eyes are burning. When you have a mascara wand in shape like this, do you go up this way? Because sometimes I'll go up this way, and then the second pass, after I put the wand back in the tube, then I'll do it this way. But for the bottom, I do go this way. I think, yeah, the bottom I go this way. So how do you use these mascara wands when they're curved? Do you put the curve upward this way, or do you put the curve downward for your upper lashes? That's the question. And I think there's not much more on here. These lashes over here these lashes over here are shorter than the lashes on the other eye. And I noticed that with, I think it might have been the Queen Lucia mascara. I'm like, well, where are my lashes? But usually, by the time I finish everything I'm doing, it doesn't look as noticeable. But for some reason with that mascara, my lashes was like, we ain't trying to come out to play today. Especially on this side. And I'm like, And I thought it was strange. And then I'm like, you know what? My lashes are just shorter over there. Which they really are. But if I build up mascara enough, it doesn't look like it. But with that mascara, I was like, what the hell is going on with my lashes? And it was supposed to make your lashes look longer and thicker within a certain amount of days, but mine didn't. Both of my eyes are burning, y'all. Both of my eyes are burning. Are they red? They're getting a little glassy, though. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I am hoping it's because the shadow in my eye and not that the shadow is irritating my lids. That's what I'm hoping. But I won't know for sure until I use it again to see. But then the shadow always gets in my eye. So you see what I'm saying about the lashes? You can see the lashes on both sides. These look longer, but you can still see the ones over here. All right, so what are we going to do now? What are we going to do for... I'm not going to put Contemplative State in my brow. Let me just calm down. So I'm going to put Contemplative State away. What lip am I... Ow! What lip am I going to do? We're going to wipe off some of the Tillamook. I'm looking at this purple that I got from Spellcast Beauty, the sister brand to Notoriously Morbid. This is hella bright, though. I also have this one that I want to use. That will kind of punk it out a little bit more than what I want to do for not really caring for this look. You know what, y'all? We're going to be super simple, like for real. We're just going to put on a gloss. And I need one that's not... No. Excuse me. We're just going to put on Riri because it looks like almost nothing. And this is described as a shimmering rose mauve nude. So we're just going to put this on. And this will be it for this look. So, I just don't feel like doing a lot of work. And so even though I am feeling better about the eyeshadow palette, I just know I'm going to have to work it. I just know that. So, this is maybe too reflective. We're going to use the back side. So this is look number 1. And this is look number 2. Let me know what you think. Let me know your ideas about this palette. Let me know if you saw my swatch party, if you were feeling what I was feeling. And yes, my face is shiny because I did not powder down. And that pat foundation does not dry down for me on its own at all. not at all. I have to set it. But we've used every shade. 7 over here, 8 over here. I don't even know if I would recreate this one though, because it is still kind of light, but I do like how all the shadows do show up. I can see every shadow, and I think you can too. I'm telling you what you can see. Because where you are, this is different than this shade, and this shade is different than that shade. And this shade is different than that shade. These two up here, they blend together. I like how these other two, you know, showed up on my lower lash line. So I'm just going to have to circle back to it and just really just experiment, play around, put both of these next to each other on the lid, top it with, you know, maybe this shade and then maybe this one, see if these two blend in together, like how these two I believe will blend in together. Careful with this one and this one, maybe just use them for transition like I did today, and just do a thin line so you know it's ashy. It's not an ashy patch like a whole lot of ash. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't regret buying it. I just know I'm going to have to work at getting what I want from it. I do accept it for what it is, which is important, because I've learned that lesson with Moonlit Seduction, because I didn't like that palette at first. I liked the looks, but I'm like, this palette, these color stories. But the more I used it, I said, you know what, let me just accept it for what it is. And when I did that, that's now one of my favorite motherships. And so with this, I do accept it for what it is. It says it's purple. I don't think it's a purple palette. Even with the shade descriptions, it's violets, pinks, and all of that. I'm not seeing that. I don't see all them variant shades of purple. But I do like that the darker shade. I do like that these did show up, even though it blends into one shade. I do like how this one looks on lower lash line, but keep in mind it's over a dark purple pencil gel eyeliner. I really like how this one showed up. This is really nice. This one was over here, and remember I said when I swatched it, it felt super dry. And so I would have to put this on the lid or at least the outer corner to see how it performs. The shimmers, these two blended in over there. This one is a nice one. That's where you see kind of this bluish tone over here. This is a nice one. That's in the outer corner here. So all is not lost. Okay, these are dupes. These two blend in. This one and this one are ashy. This one and that one. So it's not, I'm not going to say problematic. It's just these two, this one and that one would be similar on my lid, and these two would blend in. But, you know, it could be worse. I am happy with the shine that we have from the lid shades that we put over here. I am content with that. And so it would just be doing other stuff. And I do think this shade, which I believe is this one. Let me turn my paper over. Because I thought it ironic that I chose Dixie, the first shade in the palette, to be the first shade. So Dixie is this shade. I think that would look nice next to this one, which is this one. I do think that would be a nice gradient, because this does show up a blue purple, and this does show up like a light lavender. I think that would be a nice, you know, lid situation. And then maybe put this on outer corner, maybe. And so I am seeing looks with it, which is good. That's a good sign, instead of me looking at it like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And so I do feel better about it. I just feel like I need to work at it, and I don't like to work for my makeup. I paid for it. I want it to work for me. You know what I'm saying? That's like that's like paying for a streetwalker, but then you got to do all the work. If you're still here, what emoji to put? Put a soccer ball emoji. Why? I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of out there. So we're going to go, y'all. Let me know, though, what do y'all think of these looks? So this is look number 1, 7 shades. Look number 2, 8 shades. We're not going to do 7 and 8 shades again. But I really just, as I said, wanted to see what they would look like next to each other, if they were all going to show up. And they do all show up, but some just are very sheer. And so we'll see what happens with those. And so thank you for being here. Comments always welcome. Feel free to subscribe, share, join, like, comment, all of that stuff. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.